Just,
You're a goof.
I mean, they make a big deal about that one scene later, or one scene earlier, and it's like
It's a problem.
it's a goof. It's a big stupid goof, just like us. Hi, internet.
Oh, hey, Internet.
Well, hello. I didn't see you there.
How are you, Internet?
Welcome into our corner of the
The
internet.
internet.
I'm going to find our podcast, and I'm going to watch it.
Cool.
There it is. Man, how about those three ninjas? That picture is from a different movie, isn't it?
I thought it might be. I wasn't sure.
Because the kid in the back does not look like the kid.
I said the same thing after I picked it.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
I questioned it as soon as I zoomed in.
Who cares?
I care, damn it.
Yeah, when I was trying to find a post for the Patreon that was not the standard one,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't exist. They were all of the other
Oh,
movies in
the
the
sequels?
series. Yeah. So that was
Bad
fine.
Movie Fiends episode 566, Three Ninjas 1992
standard
live
one?
stream.
Oh,
You
sorry.
gotta-
Got a little
hot mic.
cross chatter there.
Little hot mic. All right. Boy, that alien, he's well lit now. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's just creeping and crawling.
Lit.
Sweet.
He's lit AF.
He is a face hugger.
Lit alien fucker.
Yeah.
I guess.
Or alien face hugger, if you want
it's
to
a
go
face
for
fucker.
the kids.
Bless you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Probably know it's going to be here. We're way too early.
Yeah, it's fine.
What time is it? Like 6:30?
It's 7:32.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like the house number that they were supposed to go to, but instead they went to...
To 580. It was actually 6:32. But if we're looking at Central Time, then yes.
Right. That's I always convert to Central Time automatically.
It's the only way to live.
Yeah. I like pretending I live in Western Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
That's why I had TweetDeck open.
The featured review on IMDb is from July 6th, 2000.
Wow.
Well, you know, if you hit greatness right off the bat,
Yeah.
why change?
I feel like IMDb is the only place on the internet that like actually predates 9/11 that people still use.
I mean, Google, but it's
Well,
yeah. I mean, yes.
does anyone actually go to Google anymore?
Oh,
Yeah.
You
all
just
the time.
type something in the top bar and it's like here.
Well, I mean, that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean,
Amazon pre 9/11
I guess it was.
and eBay. I'm thinking of all the accounts
Well,
I've had since like 1998.
Well, eBay apparently now you can't use PayPal if you're receiving money anymore. Like you have to give them your bank information in order to get your stuff out.
that's garbage.
Yeah. So I'm like, I would have to open a garbage account and just tie that one to it because,
Yeah. You'd just open up an account at whatever
Yeah.
bank is closest to your house, so you can go yell at them
yeah.
when
But I mean,
eBay steals your money.
all my shit, I'm not even selling on eBay anymore. Maybe the comics, I'll still try and do that. But all the other stuff, it's like find a Facebook group, post it in there.
What
People
kind of
will
shit are
buy
you
it.
selling? Is it the board games?
Some of them. The Transformers.
Oh, you still have Transmorphers.
Yes, I do. And some comic
Transmorphers
comic
Dressers.
books. I really well I still have them in the storage unit, but they need to go so I can stop paying for a storage unit.
I just didn't know that you still had like ones that you were going to sell. I thought you had already sold all the ones that you were going to sell.
I sold a shit ton.
I know.
And
I
it
remember I had one of your 3 Transformers cabinets.
I only had 2 Transformers cabinets. Thank you very much.
The other was your attic.
Yes, actually.
Yes.
Oh,
Anyway, should we do a podcast?
No.
Why
I just
not?
want to talk to you guys.
overrated.
Eh.
I was stalling until I could finish the tweet.
Oh, you're doing a tweet.
Yeah, I did a tweet.
I would retweet it, but I'm not on Twitter anymore.
That's
so.
fine. Nobody is.
Elon is.
You know, I'd like to thank the BMFcast family out there for not saying mean things about my editing job on last week's episode. Not you guys. I don't
You're
care
welcome.
what you guys think, but
I think you should make my voice louder.
I will
And
attempt
better.
to make your voice louder and better.
I think you should make my voice smarter.
Yes.
I'll
and
try.
make mine funnier.
I'll
Yeah, I want to be smart in that way too, like Gene Smart.
I mean, there's only so much I can do.
Oh, okay.
I can make you louder and bassier.
Yeah, man. Give me that bass.
I know how to make you sound smarter.
Okay. I mean, I know.
I'm just going to mute your entire track.
Oh, there you go. See, I know people run things through like
Zing.
an EQ, but I was wondering if you could run it through an IQ.
Better to remain silent and appear dumb than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Yep.
All right.
That quote got me through college. Because I didn't go to college.
I was about to say I didn't think you went to college. I did not know that you had a college.
One of my favorite things is just talk about
Talk about times you never had.
talk about times I never had in college.
Yep.
Yeah. I had my lesbian phase in college.
Yeah, I like to just say stuff like that. And
Yeah.
people look at me and they're not sure if it was a joke or not, and it is, but it's layers of joke.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about the sniffies.
Something about that saying dream flavored really bothers me. Dream flavored. Like, what the shit?
It's like
Yeah.
What does a dream taste like?
Yeah,
What is the flavor of a dream?
it's what the
Back in my day,
what the evil guys in City of Lost Children drink.
we named things after what they
References.
tasted like. If it was grape soda, it was grape soda.
Yeah, but grape soda doesn't actually taste like grapes. It tastes
I
like
mean, you're
artificial grape.
Yeah, you are right, but
Just think,
it was
one
purple.
day-
Well, that's because if they used actual grape and left it in the store, it'd just be wine in a month.
Yeah. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Except for Welch's grape juice, that always tasted like grapes.
Yeah.
I think that I think the bastardization timeline is they wanted to make it taste specifically like Concord grapes,
Mm-hmm.
and you add enough sugar to Concord grapes to make kids want to drink it and yell at their parents to buy it.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like Concord grapes again or anymore. It just tastes like purple.
Yeah. I just imagine, in the distant future of like
Year 2000.
2040, we're going to be
Oh,
like,
you think it's going to be that far?
Yeah, but it's just going to be like the flavor of runts is what people are going to be like. Yeah, remember what bananas tasted like? No, I still remember it. I've got runts.
Yeah. Well, that's based on an entirely different kind of banana
Yeah.
that is no longer really.
Yeah,
available.
we're down to like one banana left, if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken.
Yeah.
That's one
Like,
banana, two banana, three banana, four.
But we used to have a bunch of different varieties of banana, and then they not bred, but whatever it is, engineered more.
Banana bread. Yeah.
Yeah, more. What was it like? It wasn't a canker. It was some kind of plant disease.
Yeah.
But some
it was,
resistance
yeah.
to it, and it was not as good tasting a banana. But then that became the dominant banana.
Mm.
But now the problem is we only have
Top
that kind of banana.
banana.
And
so
I think
if
that's-
that one becomes susceptible to something, we're fucked.
I mean,
Banana-wise.
we do have other bananas. Like we've got plantains, which are bananas, and
Oh,
we've got
plantains aren't good.
and we've got mini. Well, plantains are really good in the right circumstance.
Yeah,
Fried plantains are
Yeah,
delicious.
you got to get them to caramelize, and that's when
Yeah,
the sweetness comes out.
Yeah, but
because they're
I
very
like-
starchy.
I
Right?
like bananas. I like just peeling
Sure,
open
yeah.
a banana, eating. It's like
I want a banana that tastes like that motherfucking runt, though, because I love artificial banana flavor.
it is pretty good.
I want those bananas.
Well, it's
but-
just like circus peanuts.
oh god,
It's actually artificial banana flavor. Is
Is
what
it
circus-
banana?
Yes, it's supposed to
That's
be
why
artificial banana flavor.
man, that's why I like circus peanuts
Yep.
so much. God damn, just new discovery. I'm gonna get circus peanuts on the way home. Hot diggity
Yeah,
damn.
it turns out my dad informed me. My grandfather did not like circus peanuts, so I have no idea where I developed my love of circus peanuts. I always thought it was like, oh, my grandfather. He's like, no, he didn't like those. And I'm
Maybe
like,
it's from when you were traveling as a young child on the circus.
Yeah, could have been that 10 years you
Yeah.
spent as an acrobat.
Mm-hmm. And then your family was killed, and you went into employ of a rich billionaire.
Yeah, and then your current parents bought you.
Yeah.
From the circus. You remember that?
Sorry.
now I do.
Yeah.
Now I do. Let's do a podcast.
Hey, welcome to
Anyway,
the
yeah.
BMFcast.
So let's do a podcast.
Yeah. You do the clap.
Oh, okay.
You're the
right.
clap man.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
You're the
Got it
clapper.
right.
I will clap whenever I need a clap.
We are the clappies.
All right. Welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Yeah, episode 566.
Nintendo.
I lost the number.
So
Is that
close to the podcast of the beast.
Right? Oh,
Just 100 more.
so
and we're
close.
there.
So I'm Harlow,
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
and what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jockses and robot jocks.
We like robot
jocks.
However, bad movies is a stay away. They get a negative sliding scale. 1 to 5 bags is and giant bags of trash.
No.
So we find ourselves knee deep, hip deep, leg deep. We're deep in January.
Yeah.
We're a week deep into
Okay,
in
we're a
January.
week deep. We're shin deep in January. And somehow we've already let ourselves go to down to 3 ninjas.
Yeah, we went from 1 ninja to 3. Well, we went from 9 to
yeah.
3, but it was 9 deaths. It was 1 ninja.
Yeah.
Technically, it was like 5 ninjas total. But
All right.
anyway, 3 ninjas.
3 ninjas. Beloved by some.
I'm
By a few.
the '90s kid that should be a beloved enjoyer of 3 ninjas, and I was 10 years old when all 3 of the ninjas came out, and I don't care about it. Like, and also after rewatching it, I'm not surprised, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean,
This
is
movie's what we think it was going to be.
Yeah. I mean.
honestly.
Here's the thing: like there are certain properties of certain eras that, for some strange reason, have multiple entries in their catalog. This is one. I believe there are three Ninja movies, maybe
There are
4.
4.
4. Okay, there's 4. Oh, there's something in a mountain one, right? I forgot about. They go to like a murder mountain or something.
3 ninjas, Night on Bell Mountain. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
3 ninjas in the Hall of the
There's
Mountain
Three,
King.
three ninjas across
And the big
Donner's
one.
Pass. Yeah, I would watch that. But yeah, but this is one of those like Beethoven before it. Like, there are just certain things where it's like, how Problem Child, like how are there this many movies based off of this one incredibly
Yeah.
mediocre original movie?
Blockbuster is the answer.
Yes.
Sure.
VHS
That's pretty much
tapes
it, yeah.
is
Yeah.
the answer.
But this did well in theaters, too.
Okay.
it was not expected to.
No,
and then
it was
did.
not. It shouldn't have. But it did.
Yeah. But it
It's 3 young kids. Their mother is supposed to be half Japanese. Goddamn her.
God damn, you have to.
Yeah.
Do it to me every time.
And then their grandfather is Victor Wong.
yes.
From
BMFcast alum.
a lot of things. Big Trouble in Little China.
Golden Child.
Golden Child. I mean, specifically to us. Yeah.
Tremors.
Trimmers. But yeah, he's teaching them to be ninjas, young ninjas. I mean, when I say they're young, I mean like one's probably like the youngest one's probably 7.
Yeah.
Like it's like 7,
maybe
9,
8.
and 12 maybe. It's like they're young. I mean, like the oldest one is just young enough to be like mildly interested in girls, but also that like, ew, gross, shut up.
Yeah. You get the
Phase.
feeling they're like 11 and
Yeah.
12 or so.
Right. So, but yeah, I mean, like that's how they spent their summer vacation is ninja training with their grandfather. Their dad is in the FBI, and is your classic '90s dad who works too much, and we don't like him, and the mom maybe doesn't kind of like him
Yeah,
because he works too much.
Yeah, we resent the dad who is providing our
Yeah.
for all of us.
And yeah, I mean, he doesn't really approve of their ninja training, mostly because not because there's like really. That's the thing is like this movie is one of those movies that's so generally free of conflict, despite it being a ninja movie. I mean, because like everyone's reasoning for doing anything is like the thinnest, most paper, like just this most paper thin reason. Like it's like, oh, I don't know because I don't know, like this great riff that's between their father and them is just like later explained in a car ride is like, no, like doing ninja shit could be dangerous. That's literally the only reason I'm against it. Like they were playing with swords and shurikens and stuff. I mean, like they're fucking 8 years old. Like maybe it's not a good idea. That's all I'm saying. You know. And it's like,
you know what? That dad isn't wrong.
yeah, it's just like that's
Those children are put in mortal
yeah.
peril.
I mean, it's brought up throughout the course of the movie. Like there's this rift of like, oh no, dad's gonna make us stop doing ninja training, and it's like I love that it's like they're not learning like karate or anything. It's like they're learning like ninjutsu, like the art
Yeah.
of killing people,
Right.
in a kids movie. I just think that's really funny. I mean, it's a touchstone, which is Disney movie. I meant to look.
I don't
see
think
this
the
was
children
on-
ever actually kill anyone.
No, but I mean, I'm just it's one of those things. It's like like the Twilight thing. Like, why are you having beasts of the devil like being your kids movies and then be like it's a morality play? It's like that's pretty fucked up. It's like taking ninjas, murdering machines, and saying like your kids like just smack people with pepperonis like Ninja Turtles too. It's
Right.
it's very silly.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of like the death knell of like ninjas. To even say like ninjas were cool sounds silly now because we have lived through this era of like ninjas are a joke. Like ninjas are this thing with little kids and sausages and stuff. And it's like there were a time, as shown by Sho Kazuki, that ninjas were fucking awesome. Maybe not last week's movie per se, but like like
you think of Enter the Ninja.
yeah, Enter the Ninja 3 The Domination.
Yeah,
I mean, like all these things.
Like I
are,
keep saying, pray for death. Like
I would like to posit that ninjas are still awesome.
I think so
Yeah.
too. Yes. This was like that time where it was like, man, stop fucking with our ninjas. Like you're just making them look stupid and it's silly. Like
it's
mean-
like when Nirvana came out. It was like, man, Nirvana, and then eventually you got to like, man, Bush. I guess that's kind of the same thing, and then eventually you got to like crap that like Creed.
Nickelback.
Yeah,
The
and Creed, and
Nirvana
where
to
it's like-
Nickelback pipeline is
That was the same as the Ninja trajectory.
yes, the ninja to ninja pipeline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where it's like Ninja started out super cool people were into it, and then by the end it was like
yeah.
everybody likes ninjas,
I'll
and they
be
suck
honest.
now.
My entire life, has led like I have always led this razor thin line of like my enjoyment of the Ninja Turtles only because of like it is seriously like it is on the edge of like making it fucking stupid. But I mean, the original incarnation and stuff was still kind of cool. It was like
It was pretty serious.
yeah, it was
right?
dark
the
and kind of
original-
serious.
Yeah, the original was like a ripoff of X-Men, and it was made to be super dark
Yeah.
and super violent.
I mean, it's X-Men versus like slash the Marvel ground team. You
Yeah.
have the Foot Clan instead of the Hand Clan. It's just like
Yeah.
it's like there's little things like that. It's like so I get it. I get its origins. It's like the Tick. It's kind of silly, but done in the right milieu, it's
Yeah.
fine and it can exist over here. But when you get to Ninja Turtles 2 and Vanilla Ice and shit, it's like, and like I say, the
Yeah.
pepperonis fighting, it's like this is where we are into the watered down ninjas, where it is just a joke now. It is little kids are dressing up like ninjas and not because they think it's cool, but it's cool in like a haha kind of way.
Well, also this movie, I wonder what they actually wanted to make.
Yeah.
Because
something
there are
that
certain
kids would
points
rent.
where a 7-year-old watching it has to be like, this is kind of childish.
Probably. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been a 7-year-old in far too long.
Yeah.
Decades.
But
many
still,
decades.
I'm sure there are 7-year-olds out there who are like, I think I'm above this.
I feel like I was. I mean, I mean, if I had been 7 when this came out, I was not. I was probably
Yeah.
13 or so
Yeah.
when this came out. But
This was 92.
yeah.
So I was 10.
Okay, 15. So whatever. But
I
it
was-
was-
Old enough to know better.
I was old enough to know better, but I mean, I was saying, like, if I had been a few years younger, I'm still pretty sure I've been like, ugh, like, I still think I had some degree of, like, taste as a kid. I was like, that looks stupid. Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
remember, I seem to remember going to the Garbage Pail Kids movie, like, knowing it was going to be bad and just being like, why, I have to see, like, why does this exist?
Yeah.
And
It's like when you drive by the car wreck, you have to slow down and look.
It is as horrifying as one would imagine. You just, you had to know. But I'm saying, like, I don't think I would have ever fallen for this. But, let's say it. Just like there are different levels of adults with varying tastes, there are kids with varying taste. I mean, some kids have a refined, like, I want to watch, artful Winnie the Pooh and Watership Down adaptations and get scarred for life. And other kids were like, haha, I made fart joke noise.
Yeah. And if you enjoy dudes getting kicked in the balls,
Yeah.
you will enjoy this movie.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's Out My Balls, the movie, kind of.
Because, I mean, there's in part of the training that the grandfather has, he has this dummy where he's like, basically teaching them if you do the 5-finger punch or whatever it was called. He's like, yeah, all the pressure points. If you hit a man here, he'll forget everything except how much it hurts. And one of the pressure points, of course, is the testes. So the one kid just sits there wailing away on it while the other two have a complete conversation about the grandfather and a few other things. And it's like the whole time this kid's just wailing away on this dummy's balls.
Yeah, I mean, we've broken down the archetypes of the Air Buddies. I feel it's only fair since there's only 3 ninjas to at least address their new ninja names and all identities that Grandpa gives them. The oldest one is nicknamed Rocky because he is
solid
like a rock, and also I don't know.
He's a Ford truck.
There was this little movie that made that name kind of cool to yell out to people, especially
Never heard of
ladies in trouble. The middle one is named Colt. I don't remember why.
Fast.
Okay, he's fast, like a gun, or a tiny,
named
horse.
after a truck, a gun.
Apparently,
and
he's Mustang in some of the international versions.
That would make more sense. That would be cooler. And the youngest one is named Tum Tum because he fucking eats everything. He's your B dog of this movie. He's the
pretty much.
He's more like the diabetes dog. Because this kid's gonna.
He never stops eating.
He's gonna knuckle up later because he's gonna lose a finger or a toe or something. But.
Yeah, he's the worst child actor of the 3.
Yeah,
youngest.
He looks like
like
DJ Tanner, not DJ Tanner. Who was the? Is that right? What were Connor? Connor, the youngest. He looks like Roseanne's younger.
Oh yeah.
In fact, like when he first showed up, when this movie started, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know like when it first starts and it's all bad child voice acting, voiceover. I didn't realize that they had gone the route of like let's go find 3 semi-good martial art kids and we'll make them actors. I thought it was the other way around. Like I thought they were just kid actors, and so when I first saw him, I was like, "Oh, is that the kid from Roseanne?" But
no, that's Chad Power.
Okay,
known for 3 Ninjas, 3 Ninjas Knuckle Up, Baywatch, and Deception.
Oh, so they didn't even keep the 3 ninjas through all 3 ninjas movies. I guess they couldn't because they would they would age quickly, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, but DJ Tanner was the Full House girl, not.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. But they're training with Grandpa. Grandpa gives them the names, and then it's basically like, "Hey, summer's over.
Go home."
Yeah,
go home. But actually, before that, we are introduced to the dad trying to bust our bad guy, which also this actor, much like the youngest ninja,
the power of the Chad.
Guy's named Snyder. Rand Kingsley. No other roles, unfortunately.
That's a real shame.
I don't know how they found this guy, how he got this main part in it, but he just chews.
Yeah, he's like if you ran Steven Seagal through a Justin Theroux filter.
Yeah.
I know that's really weird and kind of obscure, but like...
No, but that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like if he were to run in this movie, he would have floppy arm runs.
Probably, yeah.
He would definitely floppy arm it.
Yeah.
But
he looks sort of like, a wannabe, more fit Steven Seagal, but like he dresses like Hugh Hefner in every scene. Like it's kind of hilarious. Like he's got like smoking jacket gis and stuff that he walks out in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And when he's like outside, he wears white suits with black shirts and
like
colorful ties.
I mean, clearly I didn't care for this movie, and I'm not masking it particularly well. But if there is a plus side to this movie, like it's that someone in the costuming department was having fun, or just didn't give a fuck. I can't tell which. Because I mean, between this guy's like smoking jacket gis and stuff, and just generally coming out in like different kinds of like plaid and just crazy stuff.
It's like when everyone says 90s fashion, like it's all in here. Like the one kid has like a teal sweatshirt, but it has like
it's like the
blue
Quicksilver
lightning bolt things on it. Yeah,
it's that Quicksilver look from the 90s where it's just like jumble of colors and
that's
and
actually a poignant point. If you want to actually get your 90s fit on point, watch this movie and you will see.
Yeah,
it's a fairly accurate representation of the early 90s. Now,
but
late 90s.
But then the rest of it is like the other parts of the fashion are just that like it's really weird because there are product placement things and there's a full on NES sitting in the cart in their closet, like in the box. They're playing Super Mario 3. And
The
there's
Japanese version.
Oh, okay.
Their uncle worked at Nintendo.
Oh, I see. Their grandfather. But then they have like Lakers posters and stuff. So it's very weird that it's like they've got team logos and things on the walls and stuff, but like all their fashion is like generic down to like nothing. Like the bully in the movie is wearing this shirt that just in big letters says "awesome," and then has a picture of like a rared up pit bull on it.
Yeah.
And then has the full like American Pit Bull Terrier, like that's all it says, like the full breed name underneath it.
It's just a shirt that says, "Hey man, I like pit bulls when they're mean."
Yeah, and
There are
they're
shirts
awesome.
like that out there, though.
Yeah.
Like,
I know,
That's
but
the weird thing is that those exist.
Sure.
it's like the Dollar General shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
But then he's also like wearing a backwards POW MIA hat. It's just like a
Hey
weird.
man, he cares about the guys we left behind.
I, clearly, yes. I'm just saying it's a strange look for the bully to be sporting that. Is all I'm saying. Like it's like I don't know. Like
And then the youngest kid's wearing a shirt later on that just says "Maniac Mechanic."
I love
I
that
want
one.
that shirt
I
so
swear,
much.
I swear he had a complimentary movie poster on the wall. There was something on the wall that it never fully panned over, but like over one of the, like the bunk beds, I think it was.
Yeah.
There was it looked like the same art, but it was like a movie poster.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want this pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you pointed out the oldest kid has a sweatshirt.
yeah, it's just like tournament of international collegiate tournament of sport or something like that.
Yeah,
It's just like, I don't know. It's not that, but it's
It was just like world record sport tournament.
yeah.
It's like what the
But it's
shirt
like
says.
it's like on a breast crest, you know. It's like I mean, it looks like a real thing, you know.
Looks like an official shirt
Yeah.
until you read it.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is a sporting man,
Right.
clearly.
Yeah, there's
All
lots.
sport.
There are lots of things like that, like bad guys just wearing random.
It's like the
things.
shit that you would get at J.C. Penney's in the 90s.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like when your mom didn't want to spring for an actual shirt that would have
Right.
a logo on it. They're just like, here, just take this sport.
she gave you an actual gotcha present instead of the gotcha shirt you wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like like all the knockoff polo and stuff. You know, when your parents couldn't afford to get you polo or Lacoste or whatever,
yeah.
you would end up with international world record of sport shirts.
Yeah, I got my Ralph Lauren shirt.
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah. But we're introduced to the bad guy because he is selling warheads to a,
Not even
a Middle
warheads.
Eastern guy.
They're like
Not the popular 90s candy warheads.
no. I mean, they're
We're talking about missiles that look like giant butt plugs.
That's correct.
they're no. They actually say they're just God, why
Mortars.
can't mortars? Yeah, it's just it's not even
Just
like
selling
Well, he
mortars?
said mortars and missiles.
Okay.
So he's just
and-
selling fireworks?
well, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, like it's a weapon of war, but not mass destruction. Like one
Yeah.
mortar is going to fuck up a house, not a neighborhood. You know,
True.
yeah. I just like
Yeah,
it's
but
a,
he's selling
it's
that.
a lame bad guy thing to be selling, like you know, to like
Yeah.
have it the faux Arab guy show up, and it's just clearly the white FBI guy with a turban on, you know,
And a fake mustache.
and a fake mustache, which it is.
And
'cause-
they're about to bust him, and then he gets away by like kicking a few guys in the stairwell and taking off, hanging off the ladder that's hanging out of a helicopter.
And his ninjas rappel down from the ceiling.
That's
you know,
right.
After the FBI, I
Yeah.
mean, the FBI has like 40 guys with guns trained on them, but this is the kind of movie that, you know, if somebody goes ha and hits you on the head, they're just guns don't matter. It's that kind of movie.
Is a gun ever fired in the movie? I don't think it is.
Yes, because
Oh, that's
spoiler
right.
alert.
Yeah, that's right.
Someone is murdered at the end of the movie.
Well, that's
Okay,
that,
yeah. The
and the-
dad is the only one that fires any shots
No,
because
no.
he also shoots at him when he's trying to get away. When the bad guy's getting away, hanging onto the helicopter ladder,
Yes.
he shoots him 9 times with a 6-shooter
Yes.
and
Yeah.
misses all 6.
one of the
All 9.
surfer dudes shot some bottles, but you know didn't shoot
Oh,
anybody.
yeah,
but
oh,
he was
that's
he was
right.
threatening the guy in the store by shooting.
That's
stuff
right.
at
3
him.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not that I'm like doing
Yeah,
gunshot
only
count
one
and-
shot makes contact
Right.
at the very end. Yeah, but they
I guess
okay. So he gets away.
Yeah.
He just flies away and then goes back to his house or whatever and yells at the other guy who's as like, "Hey, why'd this go wrong?"
I think it's his brother. I don't know. It's what it seemed like at one point in time. I don't know. He's just got a bumbly guy that looks sort of like Robert Picardo, but it's not him.
Yeah,
Just you know, like that guy.
yeah.
Um,
A
he's-
flunky.
But he says, "How'd they get us? We got to figure this out." And then somehow he ties it back to the grandfather, who apparently used to work with him and used to be buddy buddy.
Was the one that trained him, I guess. Sure.
But now they are mortal enemies. But of course, the kids don't know that because then he goes to the house with the grandfather, sends some ninjas out that get messed up by the grandfather's stunt double with a pillow stuffed around his gut.
Well, this may have just been a different stunt double. The guy at the end, they put him in a mask, so they didn't
That's
have to
right,
hide the
yeah.
bald spot. This might have actually just been a pudgy guy that was able to roll around on the ground a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because he doesn't do any like crazy stunts. It's mostly
That's
just
true.
dive and do combat
the
rolls.
kids do most of the stunts. And I'll give these kids credit. I'm pretty sure that it's the actors doing all of it, all of the kid ninja action throughout the movie.
They don't try to hide it at all.
No.
So it would have to be the kids.
No, and I appreciate that. Like there's not going to be much praise for this movie, but I do appreciate that they have those kids just wailing away on stuntmen.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times in the crotch, a lot of crotchal shots.
yeah.
Yep.
And generally, it makes that same like there's like 4 kung fu stock footage noises that they use for like crunches and hits and stuff. And I swear it's like if you've played a video game through the 90s, you will recognize the nut crunch one because it's like it's almost like the Dark Forces scream. It's a real hard like
Yeah. Yeah, they also use some boing sound effects and that sort of thing too.
This is how I knew we were watching the American version, not the international version.
Oh,
Correct.
they removed
yeah, they removed those for the international version.
They
Foley.
added them for the American version.
Oh,
Because of
lucky us.
Disney.
So
Felt
that
it was too violent.
yeah.
So they're like, we'll keep the
So
violence.
is there,
we'll just
is
make
there
it
a more
sound
violent
goofy.
version somewhere?
Yes, and
Like
I'm really disappointed that we're not
I
watching
want to
that.
watch the
Yeah.
Tammy and the T-Rex R-rated version of
Yeah.
Three Ninjas.
Maybe it'll work better tonally.
It would
But
have
then
to.
again, the whole second act would have to be different for it to work better tonally. So probably not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the guy comes, the grandfather beats the ninjas up, the kids beat the ninjas up, and then he basically says, "Hey, your son-in-law, he's the FBI guy. I don't like him. Get him off my case."
Yeah, if you don't,
See ya.
I'm gonna stuff.
Yeah, I
Bad
will do
things.
bad things will happen.
Yeah, get him off my. Well, he has 2 conditions. He's like, one, he wants his son-in-law off his back, and then he wants him to come back and train his people again.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, things.
And grandfather's like, "No," to both. He's like, "Well, you're going to be sorry then." So from
Yeah, so then he goes back and gets his flunky to hire the surfer guys because we spend a lot of time with the surfer guys.
Yeah.
a lot of time.
Well, he's like, I need to have these kids napped, and the flunky guy's like, I know just the guys to do it, and he's like, are you sure? And he's like, yes, I'm very sure. I've never been more sure of anything in my life, so I'm gonna call the 3 bumbliest surfer dudes.
the guys who watched Bill and Ted
Yes, and base their entire
and then
personality around
said,
it.
"Do that." So yeah, there's a whole. God, I don't even want to get into it. But it's these 3 surfer dudes, and if you've heard Bill and Ted, they're basically doing Bill and Ted the entire time.
Sure. I mean, it's generic California surfer.
No,
guy.
but it's also like throw in a big word every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's dude, where's my car? It's Spicoli from Fast Times. It's all of them. I'm just saying, it's like if you've heard this, it's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like gnarly, and they all have to say the same thing. Like
But they get the call to do this. I guess he gets a call on his beeper. Remember those?
yeah.
While
they're-
robbing a convenience store.
this is where he does shoot off his gun a couple times, right? And he gets paged, which stops him from shooting anymore. And
Yep. But they take a call and okay, I need you to kidnap these kids, and they give him an address, and it's the wrong address because the kids live at a different address.
yeah,
Which
it's-
we even noticed this as we're watching the movie. We're like, wait a minute.
it's an excruciating long thing where it's just like here's a 3-digit house number.
yeah,
on
each one of
yeah.
them has to remember one of the numbers.
digits, and it's like 683 or something like that.
632.
632. So yeah, I was closer than
And the
the
house
movie
is
was.
580.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, fuck you.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
just get
it's
that shit right.
it's just they have like such a clear horizontal shot of the kids leaving the house, like
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's right there, right by the garage, right by the house number.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Do your research.
Yeah.
You know what? Just slap a 632 on top of it.
Yeah.
It
They cost it would be $10 of supplies at the hardware store
Yeah.
if that.
yeah. Or you know what? Just take it off the house.
Yeah,
You can do that too.
That too. Costs nothing.
Anyway, yeah. So this begins the second act because the kids are home. Dad's like, "Oh, good, you're home. I have to go to work. Bye. Say hi to your mother for me."
Yeah, like
And-
they literally just come home for the summer, and he's like, "Well, anyway, gotta go. Smell you later."
Yeah.
And why do you have new names? Oh, you.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he refuses to call them by their new names. And they're like, "No, I'm Rocky now." And he's like, "No, you're Scott.
Yeah.
I got to go to work."
This is where we also introduced the minor side character of Emily, who's the girl next door who has the crush on the oldest kid.
Mm-hmm.
She will only serve to be a point of contention for 2 scenes, in that the younger bullies will steal her bike, and then the pizza burglars will kidnap her to try to get to the kids after a prolonged Home Alone sequence. I just realized there's so much more of this movie that we have left to talk about.
I know. Let's we should fast forward through it. I will say this. Again, more faint praise, but the whole them teasing him about her is the most brotherly thing in this movie.
Yes.
That actually makes them feel like they are brothers. Barely anything else does.
Yeah, and like I said, he's that awkward age where it's like I'm totally into her, but also like, ew, girls are gross. So I have to act like girls are gross because that's what all my peers think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that she gets her bike taken by the local bullies. Who one of them's Doughboy, the young Doughboy from Boys in the Hood, and they eventually have to. It's stupid because they have a basketball game where they're gonna bet their bikes that they can beat them in basketball, and the only thing they get back in return is the bullies won't beat them up.
Yeah.
Which they're ninjas. That wasn't going to happen anyway. So it's like, why didn't you just go? We'll bet you that we get her bike back.
I mean,
it's
I mean, everything, like, so much about most of this movie is stupid.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, this is.
But I mean, like, even a 7-year-old would be like, "No, get the bike back."
Well, that too, and also like, you don't have to go through all these motions. Like, it is proved later that through their ninja skills, one of the 8-year-olds can dunk. Just be like,
from the free throw line.
How about if I can fucking dunk over you, you leave us the fuck alone, and I'm a goddamn hero forever, and you give me your bike. And you'd be like, yeah, all right, sure. If you dunk it from the free throw line right now, you can have my bike, and I will never touch you again.
Yeah.
And you just pull that out and be like, all right, well, game over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah, but they lose the game because they spotted the guys 9 points and they were going to 10. So they lose 9-10 because the one guy just jacks the kid up, does the old up and under and flips him on his face, and then just takes the ball and shoots a layup and wins. And so they lose their bikes for no reason.
I think just
for
the
no
one
reason.
kid. Maybe they lost them all. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
No, they lost both their bikes.
Okay.
Plus they hadn't even bet on hers.
Right.
So only Tum Tum gets to keep his bike because he is above such nonsense. He is Tum Tum. He only cares about feeding his Tum Tum.
It's true.
But yeah, that'll come back at the very end. Thank God, because the way this movie works, I thought they were like, oh well, I guess that plot point's done. Because from there, it's like, okay, dudes are going to kidnap them. It's Home Alone time. It's 1992.
Yeah, it's dragged out even more because like they show up one time and like his dad has just come home and they're like, oh dude, bro, the phones are here. So like it's dragged out for like several days. I mean, longer than it should be in this movie.
Yes.
Eventually, once they finally get into the house by abducting a pizza guy, their parents have gone away to reconcile and whatever. just hang out, and they have a babysitter who doesn't have her SAG card, and
that woman was like 93 years old.
Yeah,
That was her last film.
yeah, she probably should have had a SAG card given her age.
Yeah.
But for multiple reasons. But
That's an old people joke.
it is, yeah. That's what happens to your skin. But yeah, they grab the pizza guy, bust in the house, and then the kids are just like, all right, Home Alone time, and grab their color-coded Morphin Power Rangers ninja costumes and their 100,000-year-old masks, whatever, not 100,000, somewhere between 100 and 1,000
Passed
years
down
old.
between their
Yeah,
family.
somewhere between 100 and 1,000 years old, not 100,000 because people weren't alive then. But yeah, and then like immediately one of them fucks it up by going spray paints one of it white for literally the dumbest reason, just so they can go hide in their paint room. I mean, they have a room that's just perpetually being painted, I guess.
Yeah, they have a 2-story house, which means at least 4 bedrooms in that house. I'm going to go ahead and say.
You would hope, yeah.
All 3 kids stuffed in 1 bedroom.
Hey.
What the shit?
You saw those kids. I mean, I would have kept them in the basement in a cage if that was possible, but, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Never do that with most kids, so.
Yeah. I mean, specifically these. I mean, just for the safety of one of them. I mean, so he doesn't lose a foot.
Yeah, but they. Okay, so there's all sorts of Home Alone shit where they're like, "Hey, we can prove to Dad that our ninja stuff is good by taking care of these guys with our ninja stuff."
Yeah, by completely fucking up her own house.
They fuck up their house.
Yeah.
Like just in service of, okay, let's put some slippery shit in the hallway so the guys fall on their heads.
Yeah. Yeah, olive oil and dish detergent. That
Yeah.
shit is never coming out of your hardwood.
Nope. That hardwood is. You may as well burn that house down.
That is just buckling in 2 days from now.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Sorry, homeowners. We
Yep.
we're old.
And we know
we watch Three Ninjas differently.
Yeah. But yeah, they trash the whole fucking house with these guys. One of the main dude, one kid just straight up starts strangling him.
Yeah.
Like he gets him strangled. Like I expected him to kick him off the top of the stairs and just let him hang him high. That motherfucker's done. They do.
He does bust out several of the what are those called? I know the newel post is a thing on the stairs, but whatever the little slats that are they just slats on the railing?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but whatever they are.
I'm just saying.
They've got a name. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, the supports.
Sure.
But they also an elaborate part of phase 2 of their plan is to pour a bunch of X-Lax into the soda that the guys brought with the pizza.
That was actually like phase 1.5. That was just like improvise. They were just like, oh wait, I happen to have Sir Shit-a-lot in the bottle here. Let me dump this in your big gulp.
So not only are they going to have to clean up their warped floorboards, the floorboards are going to get warped from all the shit these guys are going to drop on.
Yeah, it's going to be a fecal Jackson Pollock up in there.
Yeah. But one of them goes upstairs and finds they have a tin can mechanism, the oldest kid and Emily, to speak to each other. And they impersonate him and tell her to come over. And that's how they're able to get the 3 ninjas to come out, because they've just been beating the shit out of them otherwise.
Yeah.
And they get her to come over. They have her hostage. And from there...
Well, they're like, come on out. We've got her at gunpoint. And then that's when the X-Lax kicks in for the 2. And they're like, oops, sorry, we're going to go shit our brains out.
Yeah. And then Tum Tum ends up hitting that guy with the tennis racket in the face. And then Emily punches him in the face and knocks him out. But the bad guy and the professor shows up.
Yeah.
Because Professor Toru Tanaka is in this movie. Decorated BMFcast alone. I could. It's a big list.
Yeah.
He's been in a ton of movies. You know him. You're like, hey, is that Odd Job? No, this is the other guy.
Right.
Yeah. That's all you need to say, really, is like, it's the other guy. So, yeah, he shows up, grabs them, and now they've been taken hostage. So they don't have to worry about any of the destruction that they wreaked on their house, because now it can all be officially blamed on the people that kidnapped them.
Yeah. And other weird things that happen are like, everybody shows back up after they've been taken. It's the police and the fire trucks and everybody all around. The dad's standing outside trying to get a grip on what's going on. And apparently they've let Emily go with a note, but it's so weird. She just runs up like, I know where they are. Here's a note. Bye.
Yeah,
like,
she's nowhere to be found for 5 minutes,
it's
and then she
so bizarre. Like, I don't know.
Leans on the screen and then
I just don't
leans
get that.
back off,
Like
practically.
It's way past my bedtime. All I can do is this. Here's a note. Bye. I can't.
Yeah, they told me to give this to you. Bye.
Yeah, it's just like
She's not being interviewed by the police or.
No.
Yeah, we don't. It's just weird. But anyway, they know where she are or where they are. Granddad shows up with a hero shot in the exhaust of the cars, and is like in full ninja gear, and is like, I'm gonna go get them kids.
I like Pudgy Grandpa in a ninja outfit.
Yeah,
he's like a real life chibi ninja.
It's endearing.
It is.
Um,
But yeah, so the wife convinces him to let Grandpa go save them.
Sort
Grandpa's
of.
like, give me an hour.
He basically just Batman's out. Like, they're in the mid-conversation, and he's like, hey, what's that? And then turn around and...
Well, he says, give me an hour, and I'll go get the kids.
Sure.
And he's like, okay, but after an hour, we're coming in.
He still does the Commissioner Gordon Batman thing. Disappears.
True.
But yeah, and then they're being loaded up onto a cargo ship, because how many movies have we watched that end on a cargo ship or a foundry?
I feel like we should have a tag on any episode that has cargo ship and any episode that has foundry.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we've had plenty that have both.
Yeah. I mean, the best thing about the cargo ship, I mean, again, this is going to be the mildest of praise, but like the best thing about this is that it looks like they're actually on a proper ship because the hallways are like narrow,
tiny as fuck.
and so they keep doing bits and gags with the ninjas that like they can't even like unsheath their swords because the hallways are so narrow and stuff. I mean, that's kind of the best thing about this taking place here.
Yeah.
It's really, it's very side, like it's not like it's not like a funhouse location. It's not like this whole thing is going to be set up for nonstop gags or something like that. It's just kind of a little fun little side thing of like, it's a real ship. Look how fucking stupid tiny the quarters
like
are.
the grandpa scares the whatever the sleazy brother or whoever it is, the main bad guy's sidekick guy.
Right.
Like he scares him into bonking his head on something that's sticking out because the hallways are
just
so
some
narrow.
kind of drain, just one of those random things. You have gears and knobs on ships and stuff.
Yeah.
So release the pressure here.
Yep. Yeah, as well as a ninja that gets steam to the face after a big build up to the fight they're going to have with him.
The painted ninja.
Yeah. The only one. Because the other ones are wearing ninja outfits, but they have like clear goggles.
Yeah,
on
they're
the front
wearing like
of them
racquetball goggles for some reason.
Yeah, it's like full regular black ninja
Just to
outfit
hide 'em all.
with a purple like stripe for flair, which I think Harlow appreciated.
I did.
And
I
then
didn't
They also
like-
have a gauntlet on the side of their on their right
I
hand.
didn't appreciate because again, like for one reason or another, like they have like a yin and yang symbol for their clan or whatever, but it's like
but it's all black.
but it's also like it's like if like the two little fish, they're like in a much bigger pond. Like instead of like being woven into two, it's like they're circling each other. It's very weird. Like, is that copyrighted? Like,
I don't know. You should
I don't-
probably
Someone
just-
was just like,
so.
it's way cooler. if
maybe, yeah.
somebody just was fucking around in Apple Paint. I don't remember what was available in 1991. And just
Paint
was like,
Shop Pro.
Paint Shop Pro, there you go. And was like, I bet this would look cool if it was all filled in and then different.
Well, you see,
Cool.
the set designer's intention was to show that this guy is not balanced because the yin yang is a balance, and he's off balance now because
Right.
he has distorted the idea.
I mean, you
Of
might
good
be
and
right, but probably not.
I would.
I don't-
put money.
I
not.
don't think I'm going to take a lot of my Bushido wisdom from Three Ninjas. I mean,
Yeah, I
I'm-
need to take it from at least 6.
yeah. I just mean I don't think I'm going to like count on this as my things for all things Asian culture here because like supposedly
That's a very smart idea.
supposedly the first the tenet of being a ninja is like love thy surroundings or something like that.
No.
Yeah.
The
Well, they
first
said
tenet of
be
being a
kind to-
ninja is be quiet and fucking murder
Yeah.
dudes. Those are the
be
two
silent,
tenets of
be
being
unseen, murder. Those are
Yeah.
your 3 tenets.
Yeah.
a ninja. Yeah.
Be kind to your surroundings.
Yeah. And I was like, that's
use your surroundings to
Yeah, that's-
murder your neighbor.
It's a very liberal interpretation of leave no trace.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm saying
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to necessarily take this for
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, the kid's a prisoner. They get themselves out by faking a phone call, and then the one dude does a pretty sweet move with the phone.
Okay.
Basically, does a nunchaku move with the phone and knocks the dude out.
Yeah, it's a Joe Pesci with a little bit more flair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But then it's a matter of them going through, getting in random fights with ninjas and just getting like angry fight face and just wailing away on stuntmen. I mean, there's a lot of just full on kicks and punches to stuntmen's groins and faces.
Domes, yeah.
Because the thing about a groin kick is like you can't fake that with an angle. You know, like a dude's
No.
got to get rocked in the groin.
There's
If you're
certain
gonna-
ways to take a dick kick, right?
Yeah,
Like,
Higher
We-
eunuchs.
right. We've all watched, enough wrestling to see how you can get kind of kicked in the groinal area and
You got to land with your toes on the taint.
sure, yeah.
yeah, something like that. But
like
these
all
are
of these
children
kids are
doing it
leg-
as well.
yeah,
yeah.
and
It's not
these-
like they're gonna know how to do it correctly.
Also,
Exactly.
they don't even know the true pain they're inflicting. I mean, they have some idea, but
I mean, they have
Not-
tiny hands and like no muscles.
I'm just saying,
but-
like you don't, getting kicked in the balls when you're a kid is like, ow, ha, I've told that hurts, but like it doesn't really hurt until you're a full-on adult,
Right.
When they're hanging low and wobbling through and fro and all that,
right,
Yeah,
tie them in a knot and tie them in a bow.
of course. But also, like, I mean, like, getting hit by a kid unexpectedly hurts for a split second, and then you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was it.
And then you beat the shit out of that
Right,
kid.
right. It hurts because of the surprise more than anything.
Yeah.
But like these kids are wailing on these dudes.
Yeah.
And when you're expecting it, it's no big deal, and obviously the stuntmen were expecting it, but it's still funny to see like full strength punches from a child.
It just and it looks better than them just faking a bunch of bullshit,
Right,
or having like a little stuntman doing it or something.
Yeah, that's why children are bad actors, is because they're awful liars. They haven't learned how to lie yet.
Yeah.
Which is something you need to know how to do to function as a human being in society.
That's true. I mean, when you find a kid that's a good liar, like, be scared of them.
Yeah, because that kid's going to grow up to be a sociopath or president.
Or a child
Correct.
actor.
Or a child
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah, I said a sociopath already.
Right, sure. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, eventually they just kind of they beat up a bunch of ninjas, and then as they're leaving, they have to fight the professor, Toru Tanaka, and they finally remember. Oh yeah, those pressure points.
They don't remember.
They remember because Grandpa literally comes
yeah.
up, like, is up in the upper rafters and is
Yeah.
just like, remember the dummy!
Ring the bell,
Yeah.
because they had
Light
this
him
whole
up.
sequence
Yep.
where they kicked him in the right spots and it rung the bell.
Yep. And so they stop his heart and kill him.
Yeah, they murder Professor
Yeah,
Tanaka.
he collapses. Dead.
true. Yeah,
They kill him
Expired.
by punching pressure points.
Yeah.
And the groin.
They actually they didn't stop his heart. They just plugged the 5 passages out of the heart, so the blood is just filling up that little section. So
Right, he's about
eventually,
to explode.
in about 10 minutes, his heart will explode. It'll be great.
Yeah. But they still get captured anyway. I guess just because they meet up with the grandfather, and then they're like, let's stand in the middle of the room and get surrounded by dudes with swords, which they do.
Yeah. And then the ninjas, well, they don't just have swords; they have guns because they take a flanking
That's right.
position because they surround him. And like that's a bad way to want to shoot somebody. Like there's people on the other side. But anyway.
Yeah.
But no, the big bad Snyder was that his
Yep,
name?
Snyder.
Comes out and is like, I'm gonna fight you.
This is when he's in like his scarlet gi.
I already had him. I want to fight you.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so they fight, and Grandpa wins because of pocket jelly beans, which counteracted pocket sand, which almost made the bad guy win.
Yes.
And the bad guy in like the last second, like pocket sands him and then knocks Grandpa down. But Tum Tum had given him some jelly beans, and while he's mocking him, he basically shoves some jelly beans down his throat and beats him the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But then he does like an Alexander Goodenough and like grabs a gun and is like, I'm gonna get you, and then that's when Dad shoots him from like the Expendables from the top of the boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shoots him in the shoulder.
Yeah.
But they didn't even pay for a squib because he just goes, and grabs his shoulder and leans over.
It's a kid's movie. You don't want to,
I don't think Disney has any
That much
squid people
blood.
on
Pay for a squib.
on
They
Virginia.
should have at least put a hole in his gi.
Yeah.
For the reaction shot.
They should have put a hole in that guy. Not the kid.
Eh,
Yeah.
maybe he's French. He pronounces it
Ah,
Yeah.
a guy named guy.
gi. See.
They arrest him. Dad's like, hey, good job being ninjas, kids. I think I will go home and not do paperwork. And his partner is fucking pissed.
Right. Well, as someone who's been
It's the
at-
90s.
Yep.
So
someone who's been at work with like not married and not kids,
Yep.
and the fact that people that have wives and kids are just like, you know what, I don't work doesn't matter right now. You take care of that.
Yeah,
My
you
life's more
finish my
important.
work
Yeah.
because I have children.
Right.
And I have an excuse that you don't have, so you can't tell the boss this.
Mm-hmm.
I associate with that partner
I do.
more than anyone else in this movie.
Yeah.
Because
well, first
he-
off, that dad sired those 3 ninjas, and so therefore he can fuck off. And
Also true.
and the partner is right. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you've just had you just busted like 45 ninjas. And a guy who was running a mortar smuggling ring.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, if it was like, hey, we'll all do this paperwork tomorrow, then cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
he's like,
but evidence waits for no man.
Yeah.
please. Evidence waits for the trial, man.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's
oh.
the end of the movie.
Yeah, before we go on, like one more overarching thing that is really bad and culminates into the end credits is the soundtrack of this movie. Most of it feels like a temp track for like a CNC music factory music video shoot, like just something you would put on in the background to be somewhat in time.
Mhm.
I'm just saying it's that kind of like kind of like
Yeah.
hip hop from the 90s
with scratches.
yeah,
And
yeah.
what isn't that is just classical bullshit temp track.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
It's all bad.
Most of it just feels like that, and
And I was afraid that the end rap song was going to have a Stargrove, but no, not close enough.
no ninja throwing Stargroves.
Nope.
It was flirting with Stargroviness for the first first verse.
It was, but no, it was not. It was basically all about ninja power, and that
Yeah.
could apply to any ninja
Kid
movie.
power, I believe, is specifically what he kept chanting over and over again. Which, if there's one thing the kids didn't need in the fucking 90s, it was anyone to tell them to have any more fucking power.
right?
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, they need to be told, get back in your fucking place.
Yes.
Look at these fucking millennials now.
Yeah. Look where we are.
I don't know. Anyway, napkins.
Old man shakes fist at cloud.
I don't really care. I just...
Yeah.
I just want turtles to die. That's all I want.
Mm.
Stupid millennials taking away my right to have turtles die at the hands of straws.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm a millennial. Fuck. Is that why
You got to care about turtles now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, the only thing I care about is turtles. Turtles and my telephone
I like
This
turtles.
really took a turn.
and my avocado
All right,
toasts.
let's fucking rate this.
I'll go ahead and rate it.
Yeah.
Never in the history of the BMFcast have I ever wanted one movie from the week before and the movie from the current week to merge and have a great mashup, but I wanted 9 deaths of the 3 ninjas really bad. Like, I actually wanted each one of them to die 3 times, so I figured that would be...
Oh, you didn't want 27 deaths?
I mean, I was trying to think of the math. Like, I mean, I was trying to think of, like, which one of the 3 I would find the least interesting, because I would clearly preferably want to kill Tum Tum 4 times instead of 3. But then I was like, I don't know, like... if it's Colt, Colt or Rocky, I don't know which one I'd pick. If like only gets 2 deaths, so I think I'm just going to keep it equal. 3 deaths for the 3 ninjas.
Well, why not give them 9 deaths for each of the 3 ninjas?
Well, that's a lot of deaths.
That's 27.
I mean,
that's
like death, afternoon tea.
death.
Yeah.
Quick shower.
That's too much math.
That's
and
a
death.
lot. Yeah. But yeah, all said and done though, like, I mean, part of me is just like, yeah, 3 bags because 3 ninjas, am I right? Haha. But no 4 bags because this movie is not good. And it's not the full 5 bag because, like, I mildly chuckled at a couple of the goofs.
There were a couple good sight gags, yeah.
There's a couple of good sight gags where it's like, that's all right. I mean, nothing like write home about. There's a lot of wasted time. There's a lot of wasted everything. There's a lot of wasted stuff in their house. Like, we didn't even talk about part of their plan was taking all the coffee filters and filling them up with pepper for literally just to make them go, Hachoo!
Yeah.
And it was over. I mean, it was like they spent a lot of time on
That kid was in there for a good
putting
10
that
minutes.
together, and then it was just really like, pff,
I had checked
Ha.
out for that part of the movie.
Oh.
Were they like pepper bombs?
kind of, yeah. They
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
they,
supposed
they,
to
yeah,
be.
they just wrapped coffee filters with like black ground pepper, and it was just like,
Yeah.
they basically just went, poof, and it was like
Okay.
over in 5 seconds.
Yes.
It didn't even really affect them.
Cool.
They were just like, oh, it burns at you. They ran.
Yep.
But yeah, 4 bags. It's not good.
I'm going to go ahead and give the 3 ninjas the 3 bags.
Okay.
It's a kids movie. That's its biggest sin, is just being a kids movie instead of being a movie.
But I
yeah.
feel like even for a kids movie, it's too childish.
For that age range, it's what, like 7 to 11 or 12, something like that. So, it has a bit of
I guess.
range. You want to make it accessible for the youngest of the kids that's going to see it, like the ones that will identify with Tum Tum because of his age, I guess. But also, it's just not good. There are a few sight gags that I enjoyed. I don't remember them now, but I remember making a note to myself that I did enjoy them. But I will forget this movie in another hour.
Mm-hmm.
I will only remember that I did not like 3 Ninjas, and it was a waste of my time in general. These movies aren't for us, though, right? Like,
Probably not.
No.
The thing is, I can't remember this movie being for me when I was of 3 Ninjas age, because if it was released in 1992, I almost certainly didn't see it until 1993 or 1994. So that would have been me 11, 12, somewhere in that neighborhood, at the top end of the range for, for this movie's target audience. But I still just don't remember caring anything about it when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
It probably came on, HBO or something, but I don't have any particular nostalgia for it. I just know, that it looks 90s as fuck, and that's kind of rad, but yeah, kind of a waste of my time.
Yeah, agreed. I can agree with the three bags for Three Ninjas.
That's fair.
I don't really have anything else to say, honestly. I mean, like, it's a kids movie. I laughed a couple times at a couple stupid things, but yeah.
I am curious. Like, not that I this is a little bit of a side topic, but not that I believe this movie really bears like enshrining or keeping available through posterity, but there is one use of a word that we generally don't use anymore in movies at all, and much less in a kids movie, and it's the R word, means slow.
Yeah.
But like I was just curious because, like, I'm wondering how many, like, what would be good kids movies are from this time where that, like, is that something like, the walkie-talkies and the guns and E.T. that we maybe should, like, I would like to have a Home Alone 2 cut that removes Donald Trump. That would be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely unnecessary to the movie, and it would just be nice,
Yeah.
and I'd be okay
that
with that.
movie's called Home Alone.
Oh,
Because they're the same
you're
fucking
correct.
movie.
And Home Alone, the first, is
Better.
about 10% better than Home
Yeah.
I second.
I disagree. I think if you remove that scene, I think Home Alone 2 is a better movie. But whatever, I'm not here to argue that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's I mean, like, things like that, like, taking that out, like, to keep it future proof it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's little things like that. Like, I mean, I might be okay with that. Like, especially,
Mhm.
I'm not saying like we have to edit the world, but like, when your target audience is the kids, yeah, you might want to.
You could remove that and the F slur.
Yeah.
Because that's in a lot of kids' movies, that, or at least a lot of young adult
Yeah.
movies. And
Right.
Stuff we've just moved past.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we realize, hey, those people don't like when you say that sort of thing. So,
So yeah, just like I said, it's one of those, like, oh, great, here it is in this movie. Not that I'm like, oh, we got to take that out or whatever, but I was like, it just, things like that can almost immediately disqualify a movie for, like, I'm not going to show my kid that because they say those things.
yeah. But yeah, it's not great.
Nope.
There are better ninja things, for sure. And hopefully we'll have a good one next week.
Hopefully. In the meantime, if you want to tell us about your good ninja things, or if you want to tell us about good kids movies or good bad kids movies, maybe there's one out there that's not that one that we watched that we liked.
Max Magician and the Legend of the Rings.
Yeah. Let's get in there.
It's been too long. Yeah, but if you want to tell us about those sorts of things, give us a call on the Garfield hotline, 910-5JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. That's the Garfield hotline, the danger phone. You can speak with Garfield himself, a.k.a. our voicemail, and let us know what you're thinking. If you want to do that via text, you can message BMF at BMFcast.com. That's our email address. Or just go to BMFcast.com, which is our website. And if you like what we're doing and you want to support us in a way that is financial and tangible for us in the future, it helps keep the lights on and helps keep this show rolling. Go to patreon.com/BMFcast. That's patreon.com/BMFcast. And give us your money. We're going to be retooling some Patreon stuff since we, Chuck is off on the farm for now. We need to figure out what we're going to do going forward. So hang tight with us, and we'll be back with some amazing content on that. And other than that, I think we're done.
Yeah.
I would have one small amendment to the request of, like, people doing our homework for us. Not only do I want to know good kids movies, I want to know more over the top villains. I want to know I want to know some performances like Dagda and the guy from the first Power Rangers. That's the kind of shit I want to see, is more overacting kids villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us your favorite overacted villain.
If we think about it, like, we didn't really like Max Magician, we just really liked Dagda. Like, the rest of that movie the rest of that movie was kind of horseshit, but that guy was awesome.
Yeah, Dagda took over.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would suffer through I was up for Throw Three Ninjas if like there was a Dagda involved as the bad
Yeah.
guy. You know, like it would make everything more sufferable.
Well, our boy Rand Kingsley almost pulled it out.
Almost.
Almost.
Anyway, all right. Well, let's get out of here, shall we?
All right.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ, and this is BMFcast out. Bye, motherfuckers.
Good night.
Clap for myself.
Yep. Gave yourself the clap.
And that's why it really hurts. Man, it's 8:30. We are done. That's
Yeah.
Is this
Might be
literally
the
the
earliest
earliest
ever.
we've ever finished?
But I also have to go. So.
Oh, you have to go like immediately?
Well, and my dad's there already. So
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I completely forgot the reason you were trying
he's
to.
like getting his car serviced tomorrow or something. So
Whoa. Yeah. All right. Getting a rim job.
I know.
Yeah.
yes. Yes, he is. All right, dudes.
Alrighty.
I will see you. You're gonna continue to chat on the
I don't know. Maybe.
You should talk about movies and stuff.
I don't know. I don't have shit to talk about.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
I watched 4 hours of the 10 Commandments. Ask me anything. Don't
Don't
ask me the name of the 10 Commandments.
What is the fifth commandment?
Thou shalt not.
I shall not covet anything belonging to thy neighbor. Is the shortened form they use in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Boy, they really dumbed down the Ten Commandments, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that's how he said it in the movie. It's weird. Like they made God mumbly. Like the voice of God is mumbly in the movie. Like it's very hard to hear. It's very
That's
strange.
weird.
Like, you know,
They didn't want to get struck down.
probably. I'm just saying, like you know, the burning bush, the pillar of fire, all the things.
They're leaving some room for error.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I don't think you heard him correctly.
yeah, it was
They're-
just like I kept like almost like having to read script, read text, the subtitles on it.
Yeah. they were getting. They're setting up the sequel.
I'm going to hell one day.
Red text. Yeah, no. It took me a second.
Yeah.
No, they're just setting up the sequel for
Oh.
when like for when they're like, no, actually, he didn't say this. He
Too
said
God,
that.
too loud. Yeah.
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 I have watched an anime recently. Did I talk about that last week?
I don't remember you talking about.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk about it now because this is like our second half. I watched, I mean, some people will probably say it doesn't qualify as an anime, but I watched Avatar The Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah, you
the
did
television
mention
I
that. I
mention
don't know if
that?
it was on the live stream, but you did mention it to us.
series. Okay.
Yeah, because I think I was asking you what the sequel was, and we had the whole Korra.
The
like,
Legend of Korra.
was
yeah.
Korra a show or a movie or or was there a movie? Yeah.
It's a show.
And then you said you saw the Shyamalan thing long before you saw the proper thing.
I did.
Because-
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so I do remember this.
Okay. I don't know if I talked about it on the show. Well, whatever. It's the only thing I've watched of note recently. I haven't been able to watch much. It's weird because, like, you know, I've been unemployed for a bit and looking for a job. I feel like if I'm not like actually engaged in the practice of looking for a job, I'm wasting time for some reason, even like throughout the entire day. It's this crazy psychological thing. So I'll be like, no, I can't watch a movie because that's entertainment. But then I'll watch YouTube, which is also entertainment, but it's like in 20-minute chunks. And I lie to myself that I'm going to do something when a video is over. And then I watch 7.5 hours of how to distill spirits.
Ouija board?
It's weird. Yeah.
I figured.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. 10 Commandments is really long.
Is it worth it though? Like, what did you say, 4 hours?
I mean, it's really probably only like 3.5 when you take out. There's a Cecil B. DeMille does a friggin' introduction in the beginning of the movie, which is really weird. Like he walks out on a stage and like talks about. I guess
is that
maybe
part
it's
of the theatrical release.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, not like not in each and every theater, but it was a film. Like he comes out from a curtain and is like, "Hey, we sourced this from like blah 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 blah. We tried to be as accurate. We shot on location when we could. So like a lot of this is like walking around the very areas that this happened, and then there's like a 2 or 3 minute intro song like they used to do. Then there's a middle a intermission break that's like sometimes. So I'm just saying, like when you distill it all down, it's probably closer to like 3.5 hours. But yeah,
But the entire running time is 4 hours.
yeah, it's long. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yul Brynner's like cool, and he's, like I'm saying, like like he's imposing. He always was an imposing figure on screen. So, yeah, I mean, some of the effects are still really good. Like the parting of the Red Sea thing is still really cool, even by like today's standards. I gotta say, like,
Yeah. I don't remember how they did that, but
it's got to. I mean, it looks like it's like some kind of weird mix of rear projection and like matte paintings and stuff. It's bizarre.
it's cool stuff. Maybe I should watch it. I don't know. I don't really care though. Like I can't find myself caring about.
I mean, it was just one of those things. Like it was like Dolby Vision on iTunes for like $5, and I was like, I've never seen this movie. That's like, that's the price.
They do anything for
that's the price of going to the cinema. Like that's one time watching fee. I don't mind. Like
yeah. Oh, $5 is less than
that's what I mean. Yeah,
cinema.
I mean, like I've never seen this. Is the way to see it, so why not?
Is there like? You said it's Dolby Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like it's full 4K?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
HDR, all that.
Mackie asked me the other day if things are Dolby Vision, does that automatically mean they're 4K? And I thought the answer was yes, except Netflix has some things that say Dolby Vision HD. Like I've seen that logo where it's like it says HD, but then it's got the Dolby Vision logo, and I don't think it's in 4K, but it's got the poppy colors. So, but I think on iTunes and Vudu and all the services, I think when they say Dolby Vision, it's assumed it's 4K. I think some Netflix. I don't remember if it was like episodes of Black Mirror or something. It was like they had it in Dolby Vision, but it wasn't actually in 4K.
Strange. Yeah. Maybe it's because they try like. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe it's just they can do high dynamic range without having to, push it in 4K. And most people in the United States of America have garbage internet because, infrastructure costs money, and we don't do that here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Netflix also does weird things. Well, I don't know. I guess computers do weird things in that you can't really get 5.1 or PCM sound out of a browser, it seems like, because none of the services really let you have 5.1.
Well, the main problem for years was that Windows itself didn't really support it. So, like, anything that had to do it was going through post-processing, like through your sound card, or the game itself might have been rendered in 5.1. But
yeah. Well, Windows does
it does it now,
natively now.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it has Atmos support built in now. So I mean, you have to download a plugin or whatever, but
right. But yeah, like I keep my PC, as some people should know if they've paid attention, is my entertainment platform, and I keep it on 5.1, and I almost never get 5.1 out of it. It's only when I'm playing a game or like if I launch one of the apps. Some of the apps do it, like HBO Max, I think.
Interesting.
The Netflix app is hot garbage. The Netflix Windows application.
I can imagine.
Yeah, most of them actually are, like the D Plus and the
Hulu.
Netflix. Hulu is fine.
Yeah,
it's not great.
or
it's fine.
HBO Max.
HBO Max I think is okay. Yeah,
it's weird. It's like I've found myself like HBO Max is where I'm finding I watch most of my content, mostly because I've been trying to like go into like the TCM section and just like, oh, okay, I never saw that, just try to
crank out some classics.
Yeah, educate myself on some of these things.
Yeah,
and also some oddball shit too.
We should do a podcast where you school me on like some film nerd shit, because I'm probably the least film nerd.
Okay.
Well, I'm third most film nerd if we're going Inglourious Bastards rules, and you're probably first most film nerd, since you actually went to school for it for a little bit. That might be fun. I don't know. If somebody out there is listening and would like that,
I mean, that could be our new extra for a while.
Yeah,
if we want to.
Yeah, we could call it BMFcast Extra Film School. That might be fun. What do you think?
I could do that. I mean, I even would like. I'd honestly go back to some of the things we were shown, because like I think they're perfect examples of certain types of movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have some ideas,
it would be good to like watch some of these things again. I mean, I don't know if you have a cutoff on like I don't, you're not. I'm not going to be entertained for an hour and 20 minutes of a silent movie, but like, yeah,
Look, for the gimmick,
yeah.
I'll watch something for the gimmick
All
for
right.
sure.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't voice like Birth of a Nation on you. It's like 3.5 hours of silent movie, and it's about the KKK. So yeah, I also would do that to you. The thing is like it's a well-regarded piece of cinema. It just happens to be about the formation of the KKK.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, like the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, I think he'd be behind. Like that's cool ass silent film. Like very stylish. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, if you have some ideas on what we could do.
Oh yeah, I love movies and I love talking about why I love movies. So.
Cool. Well, I mean, we were just talking about retooling some of the Patreon stuff, so
There you go.
that may be a thing that maybe people will enjoy. Me getting learned.
Hey, and there's holes in my stuff. Like I love it at what I've seen, but I am woefully underschooled in what I call French New Wave movies. So like that's a whole subset, and there's a ton of them on HBO Max in that TCM section. But that might be advanced. Like we might want to knock out some more.
Well, we could
Citizen
do. I
Kanes
mean,
and things like that before we do.
We could do Film School 101 and then Film School 102.
Yeah.
Just do a few seasons of it. Let the Patreons enjoy it. That's actually, I said that because I'm trying to get less mad at people who say it that way.
Okay.
Because it's patrons. People are patrons on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
And like 80% of the YouTube creators that I watch that have Patreons call their patrons Patreons.
Don't do that.
It's one of those weird pet peeves that I have that I'm trying to shake.
Patrons.
I'm trying to be a better person is what it all boils down to.
Yeah.
By not getting mad at people's flaws.
I try really hard not to grammar Nazi people on YouTube and stuff. There's just certain quirks I found that like certain people have, and it's like I want to send them a comment just to make them aware. Like I don't want to be that guy. It's just like
right.
Let me just tell you the easiest way to understand how to always use the right thing. Because to be fair, one of them is English is a second language person, so I forgive him most of it. Because I mean, our verb tenses and stuff are stupid, even from outside speakers,
and can be very difficult.
Yeah. But I mean, he consistently will misuse is and are, like plural things for is. And it's like I just want to be like, if you ever talk about more than one thing, just use are. It might not always be right, but it will sound better. Like it's not always completely right. It's like I before E thing. It doesn't always work right, but
yeah, and that's a with people who are English as a second language. Like there's a guy. I've been watching a lot of Warzone DMZ content because I've been playing a lot of Warzone DMZ, and one of the guys I watch is Dutch, and so he speaks probably 3 languages because he speaks English and Dutch and probably German.
Yeah, I think that's
or French.
Probably German and French. Actually.
Yeah, so maybe 4 languages. And like I speak 1 1/4, maybe. So I can't be mad at it. I have sort of learned to look at it as endearing, like they're trying real hard and doing way better than I am.
It doesn't. I know what he's saying. Like I said, it's just I would think that if he were he would want to know. Like I mean, just the way he carries himself. Like and the fact that his English is so good for 99.9% of the other stuff he says. It's like just let me give you this one tip. And
you want to help, but like don't want to come off as an asshole.
Exactly. And I've always done that. And the thing is, like throughout my life, I've known lots of people from lots of different countries, and anytime I feel like I'm always respectful about it. I'm just like I will pull them aside and never call them out in front of it. I'm just like, pro tip, this is why you say this and not this way, and that's it. And I was like, and I've never had anybody like fuck you, like
you know what
you sure I say in my language, like no, it's about I speak. And I'm like I've never had that reaction. I'm always like thank you, like that's
my
really
secret trick for that is I will consciously use an example of whatever I'm trying to correct in somewhere soon in the conversation afterwards.
Sure.
So if somebody pronounces something wrong, I'll use the correct I'll be sure to use that word but pronounced correctly. Or if it's a grammar case thing, I'll do it the correct way
Yeah.
like maybe a couple sentences later. Sometimes people will go, "Oh, is that how you say it?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, that's the correct pronunciation." Like, not like, "Yes, you idiot." And it seems like people take that a lot better when it's like they discover it by me saying it the
Sure.
correct way.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
Well, I know native English speakers that say things wrong because it's clear that the only time they've ever seen that is written.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
they just did their best with it, and it's like, yeah, and I recognize that right away because I mean, like, D&D guy I was playing with one time, our DM was pretty young, and it was what word was it? It was a medieval phrasing word that nobody says anymore. It was portcullis. That's what it was.
Oh,
yeah. But how did he? It was like he.
Portcullis.
Yeah, it was something. It was something like that. It was like it took me a second to even realize what he was saying. I was like, oh yeah. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I totally forgive you because I'm sure you've only ever seen that written down, but it's this.
Yeah. There was a girl I dated for a while, and most of her, like, she grew up not poor, but like they had horses, but they were still broke. They're still country folk.
The horses or the people?
Yeah. Horses didn't have jobs.
I admit it's the active breakover.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, like they didn't have money, but they had some like farm animals and horses and shit.
Sure.
Not wealthy, but
I don't think it takes a lot to own an animal. I mean,
horses are expensive. Like horses, can be really expensive.
I mean, maybe to purchase one. I mean,
if you are in if you're not already in a slightly farm environment, horses are expensive. Or if you don't own the farm already,
yeah. No, I mean,
horses
I was
are
gonna say
expensive.
you just gotta have places for them to eat some grass or hay and stuff.
Yeah. Also veterinary care and shoes. And,
Sure.
Yeah. But anyway, most of her, like a large portion of her education was, she went to school, but it was like public school in South Carolina, North Carolina, so not the greatest. No offense, South or North Carolinians, but y'all need to spend more on education, and so do we in Florida. But at least you're not Missouri
Mississippi.
and Mississippi. Yeah. Our friend Ed will tell us it's Missouri that's the worst, which is where he's from. But so she pronounced a lot of things wrong because she learned them from reading them, and not like a ton of things. So it wasn't like half her vocabulary, but a fair number of complicated words that phonetics wouldn't get you there. She would pronounce wrong, and I'd be like, "What? What are you trying to say?"
I guarantee you, I can name an example. I can name an example of a
Shame
word.
thyself.
I will shame myself if a word that like I read so many times as a kid and then maybe even dropped it once or twice and never got corrected and then felt real stupid when I did was archipelago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Archipelago.
Yeah, because I was trying to put way more syllables in it because it's how it looks. Yeah, it was like archipelago or something like that. Yeah.
I mean,
But
there's
yes,
a
how
shit-
many- I mean,
there's
how
a
many-
shitload of letters in that
I
fucking
mean,
word.
unless
man.
you're from the the South Pacific, you're probably not throwing, or I guess the Caribbean, but you're probably not throwing that word around a lot. But
Right. They don't really cover that in geography
No.
until later on, but also it breaks a lot of the rules. Well, maybe not
Yeah.
a lot of the
Well,
rules,
it's-
but like it starts with arch. Arch, pela, like
and-
trying to sound it out.
and surreptitious. That's the other one. I've had to teach myself how to say that correctly because my brain.
How did you used to pronounce it?
I
That's
don't.
curious.
I don't know, but like, I've actually fixed myself because I don't even know how I used to say it wrong. But like, I was like, if you just take it as it's syrup, like to put on your ice cream and titious, and it's like that works, and it's like it works better than like whatever else I was trying to throw in there.
Words are hard.
Yeah,
Words are hard. So
I guess I'm not really throwing it. Those aren't really shame things. It's not like those are like throw around in your daily life, unless you work in the FBI or small island chains.
Archipelago is one I don't use very
Sure,
often,
sure.
but surreptitious, I try to work that one in pretty
Okay.
often. It's a good word. It sounds nice coming out of the mouth. Surreptitious.
Yeah,
a lot of sibilants. in
What
that
is there?
word.
Surreptitious and
Serendipitous.
yeah, but it starts with a C. What's the other one? Oh my God! Wow, my brain is fucking broken.
What does it pertain to?
The difference is like I remember like they were saying like if you think of like an FBI raid or somebody breaking in, surreptitious is like go in, look, don't touch anything, and they never know you were there. The other one, it's not covert because that's too easy, but it's like that. But it's like
Oh my God, I know the word you're talking
yeah,
about.
and it's
I
like
just can't get it out
but
of
it's
my head
like we
yet.
went in, they didn't know, but like when we leave, there will be traces of us having been there. It's not like we're going with like without a trace. It's like we're going in undercover. but-
Conspicuous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Conspicuous. It's got to
Maybe.
be conspicuous
I-
because it can usually it's
Inconspicuous,
inconspicuous,
yeah.
right?
I don't know. It's not covert. God damn it, I don't know.
Conspicuous does start with a C, so it tracks.
Maybe it's not a C word. I could be wrong.
You're a C word.
I am a C word. I'm a big fat C
You're
word.
a chap.
Clandestine. Thank you,
Oh,
Toski.
clandestine.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank
yeah.
you. Or I see. I also said clandestine because I also wanted to. do
You
that.
can say that one either way. Like
Yeah.
that's also the thing. Like if you go around the country, there are probably 10 to 12 different ways to say a lot of words. Like most people don't pronounce and correctly.
And like the conjunction.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is it
Most
supposed to be
people say
and?
no.
Oh.
It's just that most people don't say this and that.
Uh-huh.
It sounds weird when you say this and that. People say this and that.
Oh sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
99% of people, 99% of the time, don't pronounce and correctly.
Yeah.
So-
I'm okay with the N. I like apostrophe N.
Yeah, sure, it's fine.
I like double apostrophe N.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it, and my point is that nobody should be that mad about a mispronunciation
no,
of a
yeah,
word,
no.
as long as we get there in the end and we can communicate. That's
Yeah.
that's the thing, and that's
I
something
can't
I
believe
had to
you actually
unlearn
pulled that. That's
hard.
exactly the word I was thinking too, because that's surreptitious is like when it went in without a trace. Clandestine is like it's secret up until the moment of it happening, and then it's like we don't give a fuck if you know where you're at.
Well done, Toe.
Mm-hmm.
Clandestine is also such a nice
it's a good
nice
word.
sounding word. There are a lot of good words out there.
Man,
Learn more of them.
besides trying to think of like random words, I'm also running through random movies to think about and show you. That's actually exciting to me. I actually really wanted to be a film teacher. Like,
Well, this is your chance.
no, like
buddy.
I mean, like I like the thing is I don't know that I would actually have patience for teaching, because I met people and especially young ones. They're not great usually, but I just the joy of like imparting like the joy I felt receiving additional film knowledge for something that it was like someone filling in the pieces of a puzzle. It's like I always had a puzzle like 3/4 finished, and then it was like, yeah, but now you'll understand why this part works and why this part works and why this was shot this way, and it's like it was just like filling out the rest of the puzzle. And it was like, oh my god, I want to share that back into the world.
Well, this time you'll have. I mean,
You're younger, but you're not young.
Yeah, I test well, but I'm not going to do a whole lot of homework.
No homework.
Like I'm not going to write you any essays or anything. But,
No, that's okay. You don't have to, unless you're inspired to.
I will not be.
You say.
I've never been inspired to write an essay.
Oh, actually, I've been. That's weird.
I've been paid to write an essay, and graded on writing essays. But
I think
I've
I'm
never been
broken. The
You are.
two classes that like people were like, you are gonna hate these things in college ended up being my favorites, and that was comp English comp basically with a lot of writing and speech. I like doing speeches. I loved doing speeches. And the best thing about doing speech when I did it was I went to school for like 2 years, then I went to work for like 3 years just because like I was like fuck school, and then I went back to like try to finish and took speech then. So I had like that just like 2 or 3 years of like real world experience of like instead of being straight out of high school, and I was like, sit back, young bucks. Let me show you what the fuck's up. Yeah, just that little bit of confidence of like,
right.
yeah, this is nothing. Yeah,
I do enjoy public speaking, although I get very nervous about it in the beginning.
I think I do until I'm actually doing it, and then it's like if I have stuff prepared and know what I'm going to say, I actually like doing it.
Right. Yeah.
I like knocking out the opening line. I think that's where you hook people. That's my favorite part.
Webster's Dictionary defines the opening line as the first line that you say.
Now, I did one on the Patriot Act, like when it was first getting written. I mean, that's how long ago I was doing this stuff. Is post 9/11 bullshit. But yeah, I hated the Patriot Act from the first get go because I mean it was such a reactionary tactic of like adding an extra spying in the sake of freedom,
Right.
But I did all the things I quoted. Was it Thomas Jefferson? Those that sacrifice their liberty, or yeah. But yeah, I did all that. But the opening line was basically like, a crime fighter fights crime, a firefighter fights fires. What does a freedom fighter fight? Yeah. Freedom fighters, patriots. I remember the opening line. I worked so hard on it. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. I have done some writing for, I did some writing for Profit several years ago. I really enjoyed writing it. I liked doing it, and I would do it for fun if I could see an end goal to it that wasn't like yet another music blog that nobody reads.
Sure.
Because that's where it would end up if I wrote a music blog, it would be another music blog that nobody fucking reads. I mean, maybe like 10 people from the BMFcast family would read it, but
You never know.
I just also recognize that I'm not that good at it. I'm okay at it.
I mean, I've found and gotten turned on to YouTube people that, like, if I were flipping through thumbnails or saw them and knew what they were going to talk about, I probably would not have clicked it, but then somehow I did and became fans. Like, just, I'm not saying, like, you have to do it as a video thing, but, like, I've watched music theory guys. I mean, I've mostly dropped Rick Beato at this point, but, like, he was kind of an entry.
Beato's
like,
a gateway drug to other
yeah,
places.
he was a gateway drug into, like, let's try to understand, why music is great instead of just like, yeah, it's a kick-ass song, like, and so, like, it's turned me to, like, people like Digging the Greats as a channel I like, and things like that. So yeah, but yeah, I've found some good film study type people on YouTube. It's a harder thing because
it's more difficult to do that.
It's more difficult to do it on that platform because it seems like negativity is what gets the clicks. So,
I was just going from like a practical standpoint because YouTube
that too
takes down
that
any
too.
and all movie content except for like 12 channels that somehow have a fucking free pass.
Sometimes I honestly don't know how they get away with it. I mean, I know I've watched one guy, I guess certain clips he's had to use. Like I watched one guy talk about a whole movie and all he ever did was show footage from the trailer. And I mean, I guess that's maybe how he got away with it, but yeah. So it got old by the end because it was not enough footage to cover what he was, but it still like had enough examples of what he was talking about to get it past. But it was like you just kept seeing the same footage running in the background. It was annoying in that regard. But I was like, this must be a copyright thing,
right? Well, so the NFL, one of the all-time great protectors of their of their broadcast media. Like people run wild on football clips on YouTube.
NBA too. I watch so many NBA clips, and I don't know how the NBA stacks against it. I know the NFL is the
they're the fucking Disney.
Yeah, they have that
sports. Yeah.
NFL films guy like actually say like unauthorized reproduction.
Yeah.
Like so it sounds all like frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Yeah.
I used to know his name. He's such a great announcer.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like his gravelly voice, like, and it's like, oh God, I will not copy this because the voice of God just told me not to. Except I understood him.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't mumbling. The Jacksonville Jaguars defeated the Los Angeles Chargers this past weekend in the great game of football.
When did they move from San Diego?
Like 3 or 4 years ago.
Cool.
It pissed everybody off.
Didn't know that, but
also the Rams are in Los Angeles, so there are 2 Los Angeles teams once again, and the Raiders are in Las Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah.
I was like, did they go back to Oakland? But
nope, they're in Las Vegas now.
So I guess they just have the 49ers in the Bay Area now. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's weird. 2 teams in LA, and like LA is not really a football team, but
town.
No, it's a big market.
Oh no, you said it's not a football team, and I think you meant it's not a football town. I was just town.
Yeah, it's not a football town. Yeah, I mean after they got their ass whipped by the Jaguars, they're not really a football team either.
It
was actually nearly an embarrassing game.
I I don't know if maybe because I'm so far removed and I'm only seeing things in like a very removed way as far as the fandom of football goes, but I'm realizing that like I mean clearly it's true because why would it not be? Like how Jacksonville the Jaguars fan base really is.
How what?
How Jacksonville the Jaguars fan base really is.
Oh yeah, we're
like
fucking unhinged.
yeah, it's unhinged and trashy? Yeah, trashy is the right word, yeah.
We're okay, so interestingly, we are one of the least trashy fan bases in the NFL. It's crazy. If
Okay.
you've ever met a Buffalo Bills fan,
I
those people are the kings of trash.
I saw
and
one.
there's nothing wrong
today.
with that.
I
but-
saw one behind. Like I didn't understand this car I was buying today. They were big Buffalo Bills fans, but they were from here. And just in case you're not aware, this is Jacksonville, Florida. It's pretty far from Buffalo, New York.
a long ways, one would say.
But their vehicle was decked with all Buffalo Bills, everything. Vanity thing around the license plate.
Yeah.
I guess Bills Mafia is a thing.
Yes.
Okay, so they had lots of things that said Mafia and then just the word Mafia and Bills colors. But then they also, somewhere, I guess there's a niche market for this, but they had a cutout, whatever, sticker.
Diecast.
Yeah, die-cast sticker of Florida.
Die-cut.
Die-cut sticker of Florida, but it was Bills colors. And I was like, so there's enough Bills transplants here that they have Bills themed
Yeah,
Florida?
New Yorkers are all over Florida.
Oh, I know. I thought we get all I didn't know we had I didn't know we had Bills fans here. I know we have Steelers fans here because Jacksonville is Pittsburgh South.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, I mean, it's like it's a very very similar city in terms of like river and industrial and garbage.
It smells.
Smells, yeah. So I mean, it made a lot of sense for people to Pittsburgh just to move here for better weather.
Right.
So I got before we had the Jaguars here. I mean, the Steelers used to come and play here. That's how many fans like live here. They would come and do like one game a year because we had a nice stadium. We just didn't have a team.
Right.
But yeah, they would do like exhibition games here because of how many fucking fans there were.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
For some fucking reason, Bills fans are all over the place, and they also travel really well. Like, by travel really well, I mean, that's kind of a sportsy term,
Sure.
and our audience is not really that sportsy, but that means that their fans are willing and often do travel to away games. So we end up with a shitload of Bills fans whenever they play here.
Well,
It's kinda crazy.
I've never been in Buffalo proper. I've been close, and I can understand why.
I've had buffalo wings,
Yeah, I've had
which
that.
I quite enjoy.
Those are usually the catch. They just stand together and they don't move when you shoot one.
But the wings are tiny. Like, how do buffalo fly with those wings?
They don't. That's just it. They're like emperor penguins of the
Oh, okay.
prairies.
All right. Buffalo Bills, the emperor penguins of the prairies.
Yeah.
But yeah, football's weird. Football's weird, but I love it. It is nice to have a decent team after so many years of having a team that like makes you feel like you're getting kicked in the nards for an entire football game. And like
The Nard Cats.
yeah,
He's not the Nard Dog. It's the Nard Cats.
the cardiac cats. It's so weird right now. Like for the past few years, you haven't seen people being excited about the Jaguars, and like I get it, fair weather fans, quote unquote fair weather fans exist, but there are also a bunch of people out there that are fans that just don't fucking say shit because we're tired of people dogging on us for being fans of a team that sucks. And it's really weird and interesting and fun to see people being happy about being a Jaguars fan again. And it hasn't been a great season, but
Are we still chanting Duval? Is that still a thing?
yes,
Okay.
yes, we
Yeah.
absolutely are. And that's another like interesting thing. There was actually a watch party this weekend that had Eazy-E from 92.7 The Beat Jams representing hip hop and R&B flavors, and he's
Okay.
the one who started that way back in the day, like in the 90s, maybe the late 80s.
I mean, I was confused for a moment. I was like, he's dead of the AIDS.
Yeah, it's a different Eazy-E.
Okay.
It's a DJ, yeah.
All right.
DJ Eazy-E, not rap artist Eazy-E.
Right.
But yeah.
Not from Compton. Okay,
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's a DJ that goes back way back here in in Jacksonville. And
Okay.
he started the Duval thing on his show on 92.7, the Beat Jams, representing hip hop and R&B flavors.
Does it have to be said the full title every time?
In my head, yeah,
Okay, sure.
It's one of those things that makes me wonder just how neurodivergent I am.
97X, bam, the home of rock and roll.
There you go.
Isn't that from Rain Man? I don't know where the fuck I got that from.
I don't know. Yeah, so that's why it makes me think I might be more neurodivergent than I think. But yeah, he was at one of the watch parties this weekend. I think it's kind of entertaining. It used to be like, for a while, it was one of those weird things that like somebody from Jacksonville, you could find out if there was somebody from Jacksonville by just going out into the crowd randomly and hollering Duval, and because we're like a melting pot city, right? Because we're a Navy city, and also we have a lot of port traffic, and a lot of interstate commerce goes through Jacksonville.
Yeah, and we're also at one point in time, what were we? We had a Silicon moniker at one point in time because we actually had some early tech shit flow through here. Like there was Silicon Valley, and then they had Silicon other places that they dubbed little nicknames. We had a nickname just because like we had fiber come through here early and gigabit, cable internet and stuff. But
I don't remember what that was if I ever knew it. But yeah, you used to be able to find somebody that either was from or had lived in Jacksonville by shouting Duval in the crowd. Now it's just like a rallying cry for the team because somebody started doing it. But I kind of like it.
It's a little odd for people outside the city. I mean, you have to know the county that we're in and the name of it and why we're shouting. It's a little odd. That's all.
It's kind of a good thing because it confuses people, like confusion to the enemy. But it's really because it took off as part of an NFL thing. There are people in London that will give you a Duval. It's very strange. We met some people on a cruise because of it.
Like you just went up on the deck and shouted Duval to see who.
It came up at some point.
Like a Marco Polo game.
Yeah, it came up at some point, and somebody let out a Duval, and they were like, "Oh, hey." It's a strange thing, but it's fun. I like it, and like I said,
I wasn't going to put us up against I don't know now that they're in Las Vegas. I don't know if they made them better or worse, but Raiders fans were classically unhinged. But I mean,
yeah, and Browns fans,
yeah. But I don't know. I just always felt like our things just were very the good place version of Jacksonville. Like it just it was very like I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. Well, I think for a long time it's because like the only fans we had that were willing to show themselves as fans in public were actual fanatics, right? Like people who are, as the phrase go, Duval till we die. And so those people always act out, I'm Duval till I die, but quietly. Like I watched every game last season, sadly.
Yeah,
I've watched every game this season, half of them sadly.
Yeah,
but I don't.
I always think about it. I don't know. I should probably go more places in my life. A little more than 15 minutes from the place I was born. I could drive to the hospital in 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, that's the thing I think about. Like, am I going to move on one day? I'm 40 years old. Like, I want to move on? A friend of mine who has moved to Seattle sent me a message through LinkedIn because, like, I guess I'm old enough to get messages from my friends through LinkedIn now. And he's like, "Hey, I just wanted to send you this list of job postings in Seattle." And I'm like, I don't live in Seattle. Otherwise, we'd be having this conversation in person. And he's like, "Yeah, but you could move to Seattle." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't think I want to move to Seattle." Like, I don't not want to move to Seattle, but I don't actively want to move to Seattle.
Well, I've never been to the Pacific Northwest, But from what I've seen on TV and not in quirky comedy shows, I think I'd like to live in Portland. I mean, Portland just seems like the right mix of maybe not quite as expensive and everything.
Oh, it's expensive.
I'm sure it's expensive. I just mean maybe not as much as Seattle, but
Yeah.
like still get some of the weirdness and
Yeah, that's the thing. Like all the cities that were up and coming, cool cities, are just too fucking expensive now. Like Austin, you can't live in Austin unless you're fucking rich.
yeah. I really like Austin. I just don't think I'd actually want to live there. It's too fucking hot in the summer. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that living here, but it's at least we have a breeze from the
I
ocean
think
here,
I just deafened myself. Uh-oh.
and we have a breeze at least in here.
Hello.
Hello.
Ooh, yeah.
Hello.
I messed myself up.
Hello. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes.
Here we go. I can hear it in my ears now.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know where I'd move. Like I like Los Angeles, but it's also fucking expensive. Like, I've only been there twice, but the first time I was there for 10 days. The second time was only 3, so I've lived in LA for like 2 weeks, quote unquote.
I like Southern California. I don't think I'd want to live there. I mean, besides the cost,
That's
the cost of the air pollution. It's just like,
it's a lot less than it used to be.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, with the hybridification and electric cars and stuff, it's got to be going down. Especially
Even with just like fuel efficiency and
Yeah.
catalytic converters, you can go up into the mountains and look over the city and see all of it now, even on high traffic days.
Yeah, just constantly dealing with traffic and all that. I just don't think that's where I really want to be. I don't think that's California's really where I want to be. I didn't mean for that to come out that way. Just did.
But yeah, it seems like I don't know, like there are more pockets of livable areas where you could just like live and work in that area and not have to deal with that traffic.
Yeah, I mean,
but also, if you don't make enough money to be able to, like, live comfortably close to work, now you're in 2 hours of traffic.
Sure. Yeah.
Twice a day.
That's the thing is like I would if I lived anywhere in LA, it'd have to be like out a bit. Like I want to live like in Pasadena or somewhere that's not really LA. It's just like it's the same kind of area, but not the cost and it's or like down in like what is that? Not Alamitas. That's
Alameda?
There's a place near San Diego. It's like sounds like it's on fire. I don't know, but whatever. There's like a little beach town just near San Diego. That's
Fuego del Tierra.
Yeah, it's like Encinitas.
Escondido.
It's something that sounds like incendiary, but it's not. But anyway, but
I don't know much about the town, so I'm just.
It just looked like a nice little place. But yeah, I'm just saying like somewhere like that where it's like you're near the thing, but not really in it. Like, and then find a job near there, not in the city.
Right. Well, I mean, I stayed in Hollywood that first time, and it was just neat. Like, it smelled like piss and weed most of the time. But other than that, once you get used to that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, New York's the same way. I like New York reeks, and I fucking love the reek of New York. Like, it's a unique New York. No, it's a unique smell, and it's just like I love the weird, like, gas smell coming up from the subways and stuff. It's just gross and nice.
There's something enjoyable about it, and it was basically because that city is as alive a city as I've spent time in. And like Hollywood is a gross mess in some places, but also it's just really different, and you can walk places. And I'm not used to that. Like in my neighborhood, I can walk places, but I could take public transportation to another place I can walk through in LA.
Yeah.
Like, crazy. It's another thing I like about DC. Like DC, I love it because the public transportation there is incredible. It's a little annoying if you are a night owl like me, like I tend to be. Like, the metro shuts down at like 1 a.m. But still, like if you're willing to work within those restrictions, you can get anywhere that you need to be in the city with a metro ride and a short walk, basically. And that's
and lots
incredible.
of steps.
Yeah, lots of steps, but you get used to those.
Every DC's fucking stairs.
Yeah. At least the metros have escalators, so
They can't break.
yeah. Some of those are some of the weirdest, not weirdest, but like most intimidating escalators I've seen. Because like you look up and you're like, I'm taking this escalator in all the way up to heaven.
Yeah, it's an escalator to heaven.
Yeah,
And she's buying an escalator to heaven.
to the promised land.
I mean, there's ones like that in the Atlanta airport, like down to the lower level. Like,
Yeah, that is an escalator
Yeah.
to hell though, because it's Atlanta and it's
Yeah.
at the airport.
I mean, if you go up from it, it just seems like it's escalator forever.
Yeah, but we're not allowed to say nice things about Hartsfield
Oh,
because it's
why?
garbage.
I love it, and it's. I mean, I love that it's not more fucked up than it is. Like that place should be just chaos. Like every flight coming out of there should be delayed because it's just utter insanity.
It seems like it is
Yeah.
though.
And, yeah, I mean, like every single flight should be 5 hours delayed just because like so much shit. I mean, there are planes landing all the fucking time.
Yeah.
But I actually I won't say nice things about Atlanta Hartsfield anymore because they changed the fucking robot voice for the carrier down below.
For the tram.
Pisses me off. I loved that guy. Please stand
Does
clear
you?
of the closing doors. The closer doors are closing now. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, he used to have a super robot voice. It was like Stephen Hawking was driving you through the subway, but
Is it normal
oh,
now?
now
Is
it's
it
just
normal
just
person?
a lady. It's just a recording of a lady now.
Man,
Yeah.
I really like the one for the DC Metro. Bing, doors opening. Bing, doors opening.
Mind the gap.
Bing, doors closing.
Mind the gap, please.
And then in between that, you get the train conductors who just say nonsensible shit. It's just like,
The red light clear to clear. The reservation is be on the right side. You go.
Thanks.
yeah, appreciate it.
The Disney monorail. That's it. Please stand clear of the closing doors. Por favor, mantenga hacia de las puertas.
Whitest Spanish you have ever heard.
It's probably one of the first things in Spanish I ever learned to say. Please stand clear of the closing doors. Por favor, mantenga hacia de las puertas.
All right. I think it's about time we shut it down here. It's
Los cucarachas
9:22.
entran, pero no pueden salir. The cockroach is in there, but they cannot leave. Sure, let's shut it down.
Yeah.
I've said enough nonsense.
Yeah, we had a little chit chat, a little extra chat.
All right, well, that's been sports talk,
It's been everything
public
talk.
transportation talk,
Film school
possible
talk.
relocation talk.
Possible new Patreon podcast talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a good one. I like that one.
That's a good talk. It's better than the talk.
Yes. People reproduce by fucking.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's
People
talk about
reproduce
you and me. Let's talk
fucking.
about all the good things and the bad things.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe later.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm Saul.
Thanks for joining us.
And
I'm-
he's Peppa. And Spinderella already left. So had to get home before midnight. All right, bye.